So welcome to this NPTS Engineering College, Department of Civil Engineering. So I myself, V. Gajendra, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering. I'm going to be teaching the subject Transportation Engineering, Unit 1. So Unit 1 and Part 3. In this session, I'm going to be discussing about that so what are the classification of urban roads? Classification of urban roads. Types of road patterns. Types of road patterns and the alignment. Factors controlling alignment. So before coming to that, the classification of urban roads, types of road patterns, alignment, factors controlling alignment. So recap, we are going for the last session. What we discussed is the historical development of the roads in India. Then what are the Jacob Committee recommendations? So that is national road development is a national interest, and as well as the extra tax is going to be levied from the road users. Extra tax is levied on petrol from the road users. Then there are going to be central road fund is going to be created, and so development of the IRC, Indian Road Congress, is the one of the recommendations, and development of the research institute under the CSIR labs is Central Road Research Institute, and the classification of the roads and based on the season, based on the surfacing, and based on the carriageway, and classification of the roads based on the traffic volume, classification of the roads based on tonnage load transported, classification of the roads or the highways based on the function, discussed in the previous class, the previous sessions. Now, in continuation with that one, the classification of the urban roads, what are the various roads are coming, various types are coming under the classification of the urban roads, types of the road patterns, what we are going to be using, and what is meant by the alignment, and what are the factors controlling alignment. So now the classification of urban roads. Is arterial streets, subarterial streets, local streets, collector streets. So this is the classification. So based on the urban roads, arterial streets, subarterial streets, local streets, and collector streets. Previous what we classified is coming under the classification of the remote places and classification of the rural roads. Now classification of the urban roads coming under the arterial streets, subarterial streets, local streets, and collector streets. And what is meant by the arterial street? What is meant by subarterial street, local streets, and collector streets? So the arterial streets is going to be arterial and subarterial roads both together is going to be giving as a straight traffic and continuous flow of vehicles. So we are going to be constructing that the arterial and subarterial streets is going to be, what is the basic objective of function is that one is going to be giving that the straight traffic, or we can say the continuous flow of the vehicles. There is no interruption will be there. So means it is going to be more or less similar to that the national highways is going to be similar to the national highways and state highways. So the rural roads classification is that express national highways, state highways, major district road, other district road, and village roads. So in the rural road classification, in that national highways is going to comes under that the higher priority. Then the next priority is going to be called as state highways. Then next the level of the roads is going to be called as the major district road. Next priority is other district road, and the next priority is going to be called as the village roads. So this is the, we can say, the hierarchy while you are going for the rural road classification. And what are the similar features will be there that is going to be coming as with the urban roads also. Arterial and subarterial streets is going to be called as thorough roads. Thorough roads are, there is no interruption of the traffic. Interruption is going to be coming. So interruption is going to be coming to that the interruption is going to be coming because of the one is going to be called as traffic signals, and other one is going to be other one is going to be coming as intersections. So these are the, and as well as the crossings will be there wherever the crossings will be there. So then automatically the continuous flow of the traffic is going to be interrupted. So that's why there is no interruption. Then we are going to be called a thorough route, or the continuous flow of the vehicles is going to be taken place. That is going to be called as arterial and subarterial roads. Then the next one is going to be called as local streets. So local streets. So what is the basic function of the local streets is going to be called as, this is going to be coming under the so district areas, or we can say that the inside the city we are having the offices and commercial places. The roads connecting to the offices, schools, and schools and colleges, and as well as the roads connected to the commercial areas or the commercial places, or we can say the recreational places. All together, it is going to be coming under the local streets. So in the local streets, there is no thorough traffic will be there. Interruption is going to be coming because of the traffic signals and because of the intersections. Because major road is going to be meeting with the minor road, and as well as the wherever the four roads is going to be crossing, then it is going to be provided with the roundabout, or it is going to be provided with the traffic signaling system. Then the interruption will be there for each and every stage of the flow of the traffic. So that's why local streets is not going to be continuous flow of the vehicles. Then it is going to be interruption will be there because of the intersection or the interchanges, or by the traffic signaling system. And that's why it is going to be connecting to all the routes is going to be connecting to the offices, commercial places is going to be coming out of the local streets. And last one is going to be called as the collector streets. Collector streets. So this is going to be called as the lower level of the traffic flow is going to be occur, is going to be called a collector streets. The name is going to be giving as meaning collecting. So collecting from the one place, and it is going to be joining with so the next is going to be called local streets. Next is going to be called subarterial, and then it is going for the arterial streets itself. Collector streets means almost all the home places or the residences or the living areas. Means where the trip is going to be generated, that is the generation point is going to be almost, or it is going to be called a residence places itself. From the residences, so the people is going for is various purposes. One purpose is for education, the school going children, as well as for education, colleges is going for. Then another one is going to be called as grown people, they are going for the offices. So the offices or the businesses will be there. So then the remaining people, they are going for recreation purposes, recreational places, or some visiting places itself. Means the trip is going to be generated from the home or the living areas or the residences. In a group of residences is going to be starting. There is a starting place, origin point for the trip is going to be generated. So that is going to be called a collector streets. From the residence, we will go to the next level of the road is going to be called as local streets. Next level of the road is going to be called as subarterial streets. The next level of the road is going to be called as arterial streets. That's why the name is going to be called collector streets. Starting from the home, and it is going to be connected, well connected to all the phases of the traffic or all the phases of the road flow or the road types. Then it is going to be finally it reaches to it's arterial streets itself. Arterial streets itself means it has to go to the destination place, final destination. Origin point is home, and destination point will be changes So the destination point is going to be provided by the providing the arterial streets, that is going to be called as continuous flow of traffic, or thorough route is going to be provided. So this is the classification of the urban roads. Urban roads is going to be classified into arterial streets, subarterial streets, local streets, and collector streets. So then, after understanding that the classification of the urban roads and classification of the rural areas, next one is going to be called as the classification of road networks. Classification of the road networks. Classification of the road networks is going to be having the first road network is a rectangular or block pattern. Rectangular or block pattern. Radial or star and black pattern. Then radial or star and circular pattern. Next is radial or star and grid pattern. Then hexagonal pattern. And then last one is going to be called a minimum travel pattern. Minimum travel pattern. So these are the classification of road networks, or we can say that the patterns. Road networks are so the road patterns. So road patterns are the classification of the road network is first classification is going to be rectangular or the black pattern. Second one is radial or star and black pattern. Third one is radial or star and circular pattern. Fourth one is radial or star and grid pattern, hexagonal pattern, and minimum travel pattern. So this is the various road network, or we can say the road patterns we are going to provide for the types of the roads, whether it is going for the urban roads or it is going to be called as mainly we are going for the road patterns we are going to provide for the urban roads. So types of road patterns. So first one is going to be called as rectangular or black pattern. So rectangular black pattern, how it will be there. So this is going to be rectangular. So these are the So this is the diagram is going to be showing that the rectangular are the blocks. So here, this is the development is going to be taking place, and this core part we are going to be called as CBD, means Central Business District. Central Business District. So most of the activity is going to be taking place over here in the core part of the area in urban area. So almost all remaining part is going to be called as the residences or other development is going to be taking place, and more or less all the trips that is going to be taking place to the central business district means various purposes. We are going for offices, commercial complexes, and schools, and all those is going to be in this area that is going to be called a central business district. Most of the businesses, including offices, schools, or any other thing, is going to be provided in the core of the urban area, and all the trips is going to be made to that the pair. That's why we are going to call a central business district. And these are all, we can say that the major roads and the minor roads. Major roads is going to be connecting the minor roads, and each and everything is going to be connected to that. This is the places where the build-up areas will be there. This is central core area will be there. So your traffic is going to be coming over here and take complete the task of the work, and then they are going back to that the residences itself. So that is we are going to call as rectangular or black pattern, means block wise. So the development is going to be taking place. For this, we can say that the better example for this rectangular or black pattern is going to be called as Chandigarh. Chandigarh city is going to be developed. Example of the rectangular or black pattern. There we can able to see that the various sectors, sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, sector 4, sector 5, like that. If one sector 1 is almost all, it is going to be residential places. Sector 2 is commercial development, commercial or business centers. Sector 3 is going to be called recreational, like that. Just I'm giving the example. Is sector 4 is entirely, it is going to be called as hospitals, group of hospitals is going to be provided. And sector 4 is like that. For each and every purpose or objective, they are going to be created one zone. That zone we are going to call a sector, or we can say here it is going to be called as block. One block is going to be provided. Entire facilities is going to be available. So sector 1 is going to be created for recreation. Suppose cinema theaters are there, all the cinema theaters are located in sector 1. Sector 2 completely commercial or the business areas. Sector 3 residential areas. Sector 4 industrial area. Complete industrial area is going to be developed in the sector 4 itself. So that is a block wise development is going to be so located, or it is going to be called isolated, such that the people, those who are going for the recreation, directly they will go for sector 1. That is the recreation is going to be called cinema halls, museums, all those things in one sector 1. There is no need to disturb the other traffic. So that is, you are going to be diverting the traffic completely to that zone. That is sector 1 is there. Suppose I am having the work in the industrial area. So then I can go for sector 4 in the industrial area. I want to go for some purchases. So then sector 2 is going to be called as commercial and business areas itself. Commercial business areas is sector 2 itself. I have to go for some purchases. Some marketing will be there. So like that. So if unless otherwise we are having specific purpose, so we are going for that sector, we are going to be completing our job and we are going to be coming back. Obviously, it is going to be reducing the traffic on a particular zone or the particular area. So that's why. So road development is going to be more especially is going to be provided which objective we have to be covered, so such that we are going to be reducing the traffic on other roads. Otherwise, if we are not going to be provided certain development or certain areas for a specific object, so then each and everyone is going to be entering into the core of the, that is central business district area. Then automatically your traffic is going to be increases. So always heavy traffic will be there, and we are going to be wasting the most of the time in the business area itself. We are not going to be finally we are not going to be completing our task or our work, and we are going to not going to be coming back itself. So that is the advantage while you are going for that the black pattern or the rectangle black pattern. That's why they are going to provide that the road patterns in different purposes and different objectives it is going to be covering. Main objective is that we have to reduce the traffic on the major roads or the important roads. So that is the main objective we are going for the road patterns. So next one is going to be called as the radial or star and block pattern. So these are, we can say that this is the CBD area, CBD, Central Business District area. So these are all going to be called as radial routes. So here the roads we are going to be providing the radial direction. Earlier we are going for block or there's a straight road, or the straight roads we are going to be providing the so the black pattern, rectangular and black pattern. We are going for straight road, and here we are going for the radial directions also. In addition to the straight roads, so we are going to reaching to the core of the city, the core of the urban area. We are going to be reaching to the various routes that we are going to provide radial one, and that's why we are going to call it radial or star and black pattern. Here the development is going to be is blocks. Inside every sector or every zone, so this is the development area. Development area we are going to be in the clusters, in the rectangular clusters. That's why we are going to be called as radial, star and black pattern. So your development will be there in the blocks. So development is there in the development of the various means the development in the form of the commercial, development in the form of residential houses, development in the form of recreation. Each and everything development is going to be in the rectangular clusters. So that's why we are going to be called as development will be there in the rectangular pattern, and the roads will be there in the radial one. The roads is going to be developed in the radial one to reach the various purposes. And we can able to reduce here also the development will be instead of we are going for the rectangular one, if you go for radial, somewhat we are going to provide more number of development, more development we are going to provide. That's why it's going to be improvement over radial or star and black pattern. Next one is going to be called as radial, star and circular pattern. Circular pattern. Now this is the circular pattern. So yeah, how to be provided? This is the central part area. This is going to be called as circular routes. Also, we are going to be provided. That's for radial, star, and circular pattern. Circular is going to be called as this is the circular pattern. So we are going through that one, and you can go like this. We are coming like this. We are going like this. We are going entering in like this, or we are going coming like this. We are going for this one, or from this one we are going out. So going out, and we are going to be then we are going to be exit. This is the exit points. So exit points. So radial or star and circular pattern. Earlier we are going for the development will be there in the rectangular pattern, but the black pattern. Here the development also is going to be called as circular pattern. So the best example is going to be called as Connaught Place. Connaught Place, New Delhi. Connaught Place, New Delhi is the best example for this type of the road pattern used in the city areas. Radial or star and circular pattern. Circular pattern we are going to be using in Connaught Place, New Delhi, or we can say that the well famous one is going to be called Palika Bazaar. Palika Bazaar is going to be the best example for this circular pattern. This almost all it is going to be called circular routes we are going to be provided in addition to the radial one, and the establishments also in the form of the circular one. That's why the name is going to be given as radial or star and circular pattern. So this is so to understand that, and we are going for more number of establishments rather than we are going for earlier one is going to be called as radial, star and so the black pattern. Instead of that one we are going for circular pattern. So more number of establishments we are going to be provided, and there is also is going to be more feasible network we are going to be provided by using this one. The best example we can able to see that Palika Bazaar, Connaught Place of the New Delhi. This is the best example they constructed, and they have the favorable results is came from that route. The network we are going to provide is radial, star, and circular pattern. And next one is going to be called as radial or star and grid pattern. So now here it is going to be called a line joining. This one is going to be called as a grid. So this is we are going to be called as a grid, and this we are going to be called as, these are all we are going to be called as radial and as well as the grid provided. First one we are going to provide with the development will be there in the block pattern. Second one is going to be called as the development we are going to provide with the circular pattern. Now third one is going to be called same one, radial one only. Radial routes are going to be provided. In addition to that one, development will be taken place in grid pattern. Each grid the development is going to be taken place, and finally we are going for some main objective is that one we are going to be reaching to that the central core area. How we are going to be so going for the various purposes, and what are the routes that we are going to provide it, how the development will be taking place, because we have to be provided the more establishment such that we can able to get that more revenue we are going to be generated. One is we are going to be provided with the so free access. There is no way the traffic is going to be congested. So like that, the route is going to be designed. Network is going to be designed. The enter and exit will be flexible, and the development also is going to be taken place inside that whatever the route network we are going to provide, the road network we are going to provide. So that is the thing. First one is going to be called a rectangular or black pattern. The road network is going to be called almost a straight. Second one we came to that the radial, and the development will be taking place in black pattern. Third one is going to be called a radial. The development is going to be taking place as the circular pattern, and next one is going to be radial or the grid pattern. So here entry and exit through the radial routes, and the development will be taking place in terms of the grid. In terms of the grid we are going to be provided. So such that we can able to get the flexible and more revenue we are going to be generated. Then the next one is going to be called as the hexagonal pattern. Hexagonal pattern. So the hexagonal pattern. So this is the road network we are going to be provided. So the development is going to be taken place here. This is the CBD area. Earlier we are going to be provided with the radial routes. Now it is going to be called as the road network by using the hexagon shape. So that's why we are going to be called as hexagonal pattern. So here the shape is going to provide hexagon, and road network is going to be provided with the hexagon, all the enter and exit roads, and then we are going for this way we are going for the exit, and this way we are going for exit, and this is the CBD area. So such that the development is going to be taking place in one area. Earlier we are having that the various sectors, that is the clusters are there. Either you are going for the circular pattern, we are going for the grid pattern, we are going for the block pattern. Various sectors are there. Such that development is going to be taking place. But here in hexagonal pattern, so we are having that the wider area, but all the development will be taking place in one location, one cluster itself, in one area, and that's why it is going to be somewhat, it is going to be called a congested. The routes is going to be, or the traffic is going to be congested. We are not going to be diverting the traffic very easily. In the previous cases, all the radial routes are there. That's why the diversion of the traffic will be easy. In one direction, the traffic is going to be congested. Then we can able to divert in the other routes such that the exit will be easy. But here it is not like that. It's going to be somewhat, it is going to be not flexible one. It's a congested one. Congested development is there in the type of the hexagonal. That's why it is going to be called as the least preferred road network we are going to be using as the hexagonal type, hexagonal pattern. Next one is going to be called as the minimum travel pattern. Next one is going to be called as minimum travel pattern. So minimum travel pattern, this is my entire area of urban area. So I am going for the I have to see that what is the minimum the shortest possible route. That is why I can call minimum travel pattern. I want to reach my destination. What are the shortest possible routes are available? So like that, we are going to be dividing into the entire urban area. Then that is going to be called as minimum travel pattern. Origin point and destination point, shortest route possible to reach the various destinations. Means various alternatives we are going to be provided such that we can able to reach the destination point in the least possible time. without any interruption. And then the remaining is going to be all the development areas or the development of the clusters we are going to call. That is going to be called as minimum travel pattern. Always, so the road user has to be choose. He has to be reach the destination point in the shortest possible time. So that is the main objective. It means minimum travel time, minimum travel pattern is going to be giving advantage is that one. It is not going to be wasting the time, much time while you are going for the travel. Either way, I'm going for the office, I am going for the purchasing of the business purpose, office purpose, or school, or any other purpose. I had to reach the urban area for the what is my destination point and what is my origin point. From the origin point to the destination point, I am going to be reaching with the shortest possible time. That is going to be called minimum travel pattern. So like that, the development is going to be taking place. Means more number of alternative routes are going to be provided. So then such that we can able to reach. That is the objective here is going to be called as the least possible time. We are going to reaching to the destination. Also automatically we are going to be reducing the traffic onto the major roads or the major routes. We are going to be reducing the traffic. That is the main objective over here, the minimum travel pattern. So this is about the various road networks, or we can say that the road patterns that we are going to be using for the preparation of the urban area. So rectangular or the black pattern, radial or star and black pattern, radial or star and circular pattern, radial or star and grid pattern, and hexagonal pattern and minimum travel pattern. So now after understanding that what is the various road patterns that we are going to be designing for the urban area, then we had next is going for the alignment. So what is meant by the alignment and what are the factors that is going to be controlling alignment, or what are the ideal requirements for the alignment? What are the ideal requirements for the alignment? Alignment is going to be called as fixing of the center line of the road. Fixing of the center line of the road. Fixing of the center line of the road on the given area. On the given area, that is we are going to call alignment. We are going to aligning the road. First stage is going to be called as alignment, or we are going to fixing the direction. Alignment we are going to be called as the direction, such that for that we are going for the topographical maps. From the topographical maps, we are going to be sitting in the office and I am going to be fixing that the alignment. After the alignment is going to be fixed, then I have to go physically onto the ground. Then I had to be go for various surveys and we are going to be completing that the data. Then after that we are going for the construction. These are the stages or the phases will be there. First we are going to be study that we are going to call a map study. So map study we are going to be doing for the alignment, fixing that the shortest possible route. What are the possible routes are available for the origin point and destination point. So this is my location, entire area. So I have to reach this place. How I can able to reach? I can reach like this. I can go like this. I can go like this. And I can go like this. I can go like this or this direction. Or I can go like this. So this is my A point, then this is my B point. How I had to be located? Taking all the factors, I had to be fixed that the shortest possible route that from the topographical maps, topo maps. So from the topo maps, I am going to be fixing the alignment. That alignment, same alignment, I am going to be transferring onto the ground. So that is on the given area on the ground, transferring onto the ground, that we are going to be called as alignment. Why this alignment is going to be fixing of the center line, fixing of the center line on the ground. So that is we are going to have a simple definition for the alignment. So why this alignment is going to be necessary? If you are not going to be fixing proper alignment, so that is going to be called as improper alignment. So what it is going to be facing? If I am going for improper alignment, if alignment is not done properly, so what are the So causes or what are the negative things and disadvantages is going to be coming is, first one is initial cost of construction. Initial cost of construction is going to be increases. Maintenance cost is going to be increases. Vehicle operation cost. Vehicle operation cost increases. Last one is increasing of the accidents. These are the side effects is going to be coming if you are not done properly that alignment. If you are not going to be completing the task of the alignment properly, so one is going to be your cost of construction is going to be increases because of the gradient or because of the various geometrical features that we are going to be designed. Automatically it will be increase your cost of construction. Then your cost of construction is going to be increases, that is going to be reflecting onto that the maintenance cost is going to be increases. Vehicle operation cost is going to be increases if the not proper alignment you are not done somewhere. Yeah, if not necessary, you are going to provide the gradient, so the up gradient or down gradient we are going to be provided. Then the vehicle operation cost is going to be increases. And then yeah, your alignment is not going to be proper, where the alignment is going to be changes means curvatures we are going to be provided. Wherever the alignment is going to be changes, we are going to be introducing that the curve. In some places we are not going to provide proper curvature, then it is going to be giving you, or that is going to be reflecting onto that road accidents. More number of road accidents is going to become improper because of the improper alignment. If you done properly the alignment, so then these are all we are going to be reducing. Your cost of construction is going to be reduces, maintenance cost is going to be reduces, vehicle cost, vehicle operation cost is going to be increases, and decreasing number of accidents. There is no accidents will be there if you are going to be aligning properly. So that is the, we are going to be called as what are the factor, what are the so the ill effects will be there. We are not going to be designed properly the alignment. So fixing of the center line of the road on the ground, that we are going to be called as alignment. If you not done properly, these are the various damages is going to occur, various disadvantages is going to occur. Then what are the ideal requirements of alignment? Ideal requirements of the alignment: short, easy, safe, and economical. So ideal requirements of alignment is, I want to fix that the alignment properly. I have to be choose what are the requirements will be there: short, easy, safe, and economical. What is meant by the short, and what is meant by the easy, and what is meant by the safe, and what is meant by the economical? This all together in one sentence is that already we discussed. Ill requirements, ill effects will be there if you are not done or you are not providing the proper alignment. Short, so your alignment will be as short as possible. So means, so we are going for the shortest possible route. Automatically your cost of construction is going to be a cost of construction, we can able to reduce it. Then similarly we are going to be maintenance cost also is going to be reduces. That's why we are going for the shortest possible route. Our alignment will be as short as possible, such that we can able to accustom all the features on the road itself. Means that you are going for the shortest possible route or the short alignment, meaning that we are not going for the gradients. More number of gradients we are going to be provided, or the slope is going to be provided, then it is going to be your cost of construction is going to be increases, then vehicle operation cost is going to be increases. So means we are going to be considering all the points in such a way that your alignment, taking that all the geometrical features as well as the physical features on the ground, we are going to be considering. Then we have to make sure that we are going to provide the shortest alignment. So then the easy. So easy to construct. So your road is going to be constructed based upon that the alignment. Your alignment will be sharp, then automatically the construction also is going to be very easy. Means there is no cross drainage work, more number of cross drainage work. There is no more number of gradients. Cross drainage works were going to be provided. More number of intersections were going to be provided. Then so it will be a very difficult process. So that's why your alignment will be sharp, such that it is going to be easy to construct. The complete road is going to be easy to construct to reach that the destination places. Easy means we are going to be avoiding more number of the cross drainage works or the gradients. These are the geometrical or the curves. If the more number of curves will be there, automatically your cost of construction is going to be. It is not easy to provide onto that the ground. If it is a easy means it is going to be called almost, or it is going to be called a straight route. Thorough route is going to be provided, is going to be called as easy way. Easy way to implement onto that the ground. Your shortest possible alignment will be a straight. There is no curvatures, there is no cross drainage works are going to be provided. Then it is going to be called as the easiest way to construct. Safe. We have to be considering that the road user point of view also. Road user point of also means you are short and easy. Then automatically it has to be provided the safe travel on the road. So you are going to be provided the geometrical features, various geometrical features, and what are the type of the surface of the road they are going to be provided, such that it has to reach the destination place very safely. It will be not going to be uncomfortable. While the traveling on the road is not going to be uncomfortable, the road is going to provide smooth riding capability. Smooth riding capability that we are going to be called as safe the road we are going to provide for the road users. That is the meaning of the safe harbor. So you are going to be smooth riding capability we are going to be provided is going to be called as safest travel on the road, on a particular road or the particular network. So then final one is going to be called as economical one. This is we are going to call as smooth riding capability. Smooth riding comfort we are going to provide is going to be called as safe. Then economical one. So economical one in terms of the finance we are going to provide, in terms of the money we are going to be provided. So whatever we are going to be provided the alignment, constructed the road, that has to be generated the revenue, and that also is going to be called as least possible cost. That is known as economical construction. So when it is going to be possible, we are going to use as the shortest possible route, so that we are going to be using the locally available materials. Then automatically your construction cost is going to be called economical one. Means so the different methodologies they are going to be used for the construction of a road. So one is going to be called as so the locally available materials, locally available men we are going to provide it. Each and everything is going to be called in that area locally available. So materials, men and materials we are going to be using, and various strategies or the various methods that we are going to be used, such that we are going to be reducing the total cost of the construction. Means we are going to be provided the superior quality, simultaneously we are going for economical one. Not that we are going to be locally available materials, such that we are not going to be using the inferior quality of the materials. We are going to be using the superior quality of the materials. Finally, we are going to achieving that. So the total cost of construction is going to be called an economical one. By using that the locally available materials, by using the locally each and everything locally available materials, various design strategies, then finally our cost of construction of a road project is going to be the economical one. So this is the factor we are going to be considering, that using that the superior quality of the materials and the workmanship, as well as the design strategies. Finally, we are going to be reaching to that the economical cost of construction. Economical cost of the construction is going to be possible. So that is we are going to be called as economical one. So ideal requirements we are going to be implementing. Why it is going to be called ideal means if you are going to be implementing for your alignment such that your total cost of construction is going to be reduced. It is going to be shortest alignment. It is going to be called as easy to construct. It is going to be called as safe, means smooth riding capability, and it is going to be called as economical one. The total cost of construction will be within the given the finances or within the given money. We are able to complete it the project. That is going to be called economical construction by using that the superior quality of the materials. Then next one is going to be called factors controlling alignment. Factors controlling alignment is going to be called as obligatory points. traffic, geometric design, then economical factors. So these are the factors controlling the alignment. All factors sometimes we can say the affecting the alignment is obligatory points, traffic, geometric design, and economical considerations we are going to be considered. So first one is obligatory points. So in the obligatory points, there is going to be called as should pass through, should not pass through. Should pass through, should not pass through. Should not pass through. So what is the meaning of the obligatory points? Obligatory means it is going to be giving the obligation such that our alignment is not going to be continued. Alignment is not going to continue. It is going to be interrupting that alignment such that we had to go for deviation. So that is going to be called as obligatory points. Compulsory, we had to be pass through some places. Compulsory should not pass through. What are the situations that is going to be available? So should pass through is almost all we are going to be getting that the high rise ground will be there. Our alignment is going like this. We are going to be getting that the hill. This is my starting point and this is my end point will be B point will be there. While I am going for the alignment, this is the alignment I am going for that one. So this comes as the hill is going to be come across. High rise ground and the hill is going to come across. How my alignment is going to be continued. So that is going to be called as should pass through. You should pass through means you can able to go for various alternatives. If I am going through like this, then I had to be made a tunnel because hill I had to be excavated and I had to be passed through it and I can reach the point B itself. So what is going to happen if you are going for the tunnel? Automatically your cost of construction is going to be increases. Instead of that one, what I am going to be doing, after how long will be there, I am going to be go around the hill and I am going to be reaching also is one alternative possible. Go around instead of I am going for a construction of a tunnel and go around a hill. How long will be their hill? I go around the hill and reach the point destination point itself. Also is going to be one of the possible route will be there. Possible alignment I can able to do it. But I will be comparing both this one, whether this one is going to be feasible one or this one is going to be feasible one. Comparing that the cost of the construction, then I have to be select which one will be the economical one. So that is where going to be called as obligatory point should pass through. This is the one example for hill is going to be come across. Another one is going to be called as a river is for flowing over. So my alignment is going passing like this. So this is the river come across. So my alignment is going like this. So this is starting point A and starting point B. I'm going for this alignment. So in between, the river is going to come across. Then what I have to do that one, I have to be construct a bridge. I had to be construct a bridge such that I can able to pass through that alignment. But where the bridge is going to be constructed? So where the bridge is going to be constructed? Because we can able to see that one, wherever there is the narrow passage of the river will be there. If you are going to be constructed the construction of a bridge, it is going to be reducing the cost of the construction. If it is going to be called wider, the wider width of the river, then automatically your span of the bridge also is going to be increases. That is going to be increasing the cost of the construction. Then we have to you have to use that the suitable passage or the suitable width of the river, minimum width of the river will be where we are able to finding out. Then we are going to be continuing the alignment. So that is the type of alignment we are going to be selecting or we are going to be choosing. So here the river is going to be as a obligatory point. River is going to come across. How I have to be passed through the river. For that one, which one will be the best place? I had to go for the construction of a bridge. Is that so? Various surveys is going to be giving you that wherever we are having the narrow width of the river, we are going to be constructed. Then automatically your cost of construction is going to be reduced, such that my alignment is going to be changes and I will be passed through that one. I can able to do the pass through that one. So this is the one example. I can go for the should pass through. Then the alignment should not pass through. So alignment should not pass through is that we can able to see that the temples or monuments. So my alignment is going like this. Temples are the religious places. We can say that the religious places. Religious places like the temples, mosques, or church is going to come across, then what I have to do is I have to be deviated. I am not going passing through that one. So I'm not going to be passing through that. I am not going to be demolishing that the temple, or I'm not going to be demolishing that the church, or I'm not going to be demolishing that the mosque. Instead of that one, what I'm going to be doing is I'm go around and I'm going to be continuing my alignment itself. So that the religious places are the costly monuments that is going to come across, or the places of the worship. The religious places are the places of the worship, or the costliest structures. So we are not going to be demolishing, and we are so go around the monument or go around the religious places. I am going to be continuing my alignment. That is going to should not pass through. We are not going to be passing through that well. Instead of alternative alignment, I am going to be fixing, and then I am going to be continuing the alignment itself. That is we are going to call as should not pass through. Alignment should not pass through. Is examples is that really religious places are the so the worship places of temples or churches or mosques, and similarly that is the costliest structures or the monuments is come across while we are going for the alignment. In between the alignment, then we are going to be avoiding the instead of continuing that one, we are going for the alternative alignment, or pass around that the monument or pass around that the temple, and I'm going to be continuing the alignment is going to be called should not pass through. So this is about the factors controlling or affecting the alignment is the first most important point we are going to be called as obligatory points. So with this, so the next class I'm going to be continuing with the next session. I'm going to be continuing with the other points factors controlling the alignment.